Hello everyone. Today we have to discuss about excretion and the mode of various types of excretion that found in the organism and types of the excretion. Okay, and even we have to discuss in this lecture about nephron morphology. Okay, and their function and the urine formation. Okay. These are the learning objective of today lecture. So after completing the discussion, you are able to understand about the mode of excretion and function of excretory system and how the urine formation carried in the nephron or kidney or structure and function of nephron. So, so first of all, we need to know about mode of excretion. Okay. So based on excrete and product, okay, there are five mode of excretion are found in the organism. Okay, like ammonotelism organism, the organism which has excrete and product ammonia. Okay, and uretelism mode of excretion, the organism which has the excretory and product urea, or urigotelism, the organism which has end product of amino acid catabolism or protein catabolism is uric acid, or aminotelism, the organism which has end product directly amino acid. Okay, and guanotelism, the organism which has end product of protein metabolism or is a simply end product guanine. Okay. So first of all, we have to discuss ammonotelism. Okay. So ammonotelism is the process of eliminating ammonia from the body. Okay, is known as ammonotelism, and the organism which has this type of process, okay, called ammonotelic. And the most of the fish, protozoans, echinoderms, poriferans, and crustaceans comes under this category. And aquatic animals that excrete ammonia directly into the environment where the compound is quickly diluted. Okay, it is also a very toxic to the tissue. Okay, so this is a type of mode of excretion, monotelism. Okay, and second one is ureotelism. So ureotelism also found in the some of the mammals and amphibians, and these organisms excrete urea as a metabolic end product or excretory end product, and these organisms are called ureotelic. And in these organisms, ammonia is produced, is converted to the urea in the liver of animal and is released back into the blood. Okay? And the kidney filter the urea and are expelled out the body, and some of the urea is retained in the matrix of kidney to maintain a desired osmolarity in the organism. Okay, and that's why it also contributes to the osmoregulation. Okay, and homeostasis. Okay, and human are ureotelic as we expel the urea through urine, and moreover urea is comparatively less toxic than ammonia. And the next one is uricotelic. Okay, or urotelic. So uricotelic organism remove nitrogenous waste as a uric acid in the form of pellet or some organism excrete these end product as a paste, and metabolically this process is quite costlier. However, the water loss is minimal, and it is the least toxic. and the uric acid is not readily soluble in the water, and the excrement form pasty white suspension. And most of the reptiles, birds, insect comes under this category and called uricotelic animal, okay, or uricotelics. And aminotelism. So certain mollusk and echinoderms excrete excess amino acid. So this feature is called aminotelism. Okay. So the guanotelism is this kind of organism, like spider convert the ammonia into guanine before excretion, and this characteristic is also found in some reptiles, bird and earthworms, and it is also insoluble in water, hence no water is required for its excretion. Okay. Now, what is the function of excretory system? Okay. So the human excretory system function to remove waste or nitrogen waste or activity and product from the body. And during this process, animal get rid of nitrogen waste product of metabolism, including ammonia, uric acid, okay, and urea. And HCT system are diverse. Nearly all produce urine in a process that involves several steps. Okay, so this is the typical HCT system, which has include kidney, one pair of kidney, urethra, urinary bladder, okay, and urethra, okay. And kidney involved in the process of filtration. Okay, while they produce urine, and the filtration is the process in which the exudative tubule collect filtrate from the blood. Okay, and it include water and solute are forced by blood pressure across the selectively permeable membrane of a cluster of capillaries and into the excretory tubules. Okay, and after the filtration, the reabsorption is take place because some of the useful uh, substance also filter and found in the filtrate. And during the reabsorption, the transport epithelium reclaims valuable substances from the filtrate and return them to the blood. Okay, and secretion is the another process in which the other substances are excreted from the body fluids and added to the content of the excreted tubes. Like some of the drugs which we take can secrete into the urine by the process of secretion, and finally excretion. The filtrate leaves the system and the body. So the excrete system include specialized structure and capillary network that assist in excretory process. And the human excretory system includes the kidney and its functional unit called nephron. So nephron is the structural and functional unit of excretory system. And the excretory activity of the kidney is changed by specialized hormone that regulate the amount of absorption within the nephron. Okay, so some of the hormones also control the process of urine formation, and excretory system include bladder, kidney, ureters, okay, meatus, urethra. These all are the part of the excretory system. And the kidney located both sides of the spine between thoracic and lumbar vertebrae, and the blood enters the kidney through renal artery and leak through renal veins, and the tubes called ureters carry a waste product from the kidney to the urinary bladder for storage or for release. And even during urination, urine is expelled from the urinary bladder through the urethra. Okay, so all the organs involved in the extraction of waste product or nitrogenous waste product. So this figure shows the flow of urine. Okay. So first of all, filtrates comes into glomerulus part of the nephron. Then it enters into the renal tubule, then renal pelvis, then renal calyces, then ureters. Okay, so this is the flow of urine. Okay, so you can see that this is nephron. Okay, look like that. Okay, it has a renal artery and a renal vein. Okay, and it has a ureter. Okay, and renal medulla and outer part is renal cortex. Okay, it is covered by the renal capsule. And kidney filter about 700 liters of blood daily in the average person. And even the kidney has cortex, which is the outer protective portion, and it has medulla, inner soft portion, which has nephron, and helium portion, which is a depression located in the middle of the concave side of the kidney, where blood vessel, nerves, ureter enter and exit to the kidney. Okay, this part is called hilum, and the cortex is where the blood is filtered. Okay, so the medulla contains the collecting duct which carry filtrate. Okay, to the pelvis, and the pelvis is a hollow cavity where urine accumulates and finally drain into the ureter. So the nephron is a functional structural unit of kidney. Okay, and nephrons are located in the renal cortex, except for their loop of Henle, which are descended embedded into the renal medulla. Okay, so this is nephron. Okay, and this is this part. Okay, glomerulus or Bowman's capsule. Okay, in which the filtration has to be occur. So, nephron has two major parts: renal capsule and renal tubule. And renal capsule comprised of Bowman capsule and glomerulus. And glomerulus has part fenestrae, which is the pore in the endothelial wall of glomerulus, and it has porocytes, which is specialized cells which involved in the filtration and filtration slit. Okay, small groove that help or enhance the filtration process. And a renal tubule or series of single layer tubule, it has a proximal convoluted tubule and a loop of and distal convoluted tubule. Okay. So kidney are made up of nephron, and blood enters the nephron where impurities are filtered out and emptied into the connecting duct, and finally the purified blood leaves the nephron through the renal vein. So this is the detailed structure of nephron, functional and structural unit of appendage. So it has a glomerulus, okay, and the outer capsule part is called Bowman capsule, and this part is called capillaries. This one, network of capillaries, okay, and this is collecting duct, okay. This one is loop of Henle, and this part is proximal convoluted tubule, and this part is distal convoluted tubule. This is the structure of nephron. So the glomerulus is a mass of thin-walled capillary, and the Bowman capsule is a double-walled cup-shaped structure in which the glomerulus mass is found. And the proximal tubule leads from the Bowman capsule to the loop of Henle. And the loop of Henle is a long loop which extends into the medulla. And the distal loop connect to the loop of Henle to with a collecting duct. So too many nephron can attach to a single collecting duct. This one, this one, this one. And each nephron has its own blood supply. It has an arteriole, venule and network of capillary. Okay, that connecting them, and each nephron releases fluid to a connecting duct, which leads to the ureter. So each kidney contains more than 1 million nephrons, and blood flow through the kidney has to be occur. Okay, during the flow of blood, the filtration has to be carried, and the glomerulus filters fluid from the blood and is the first place where the urine is formed in the kidney, and blood flow through the glomerulus to a prostate, and each glomerulus is surrounded by a capsule known as Bowman's capsule, and blood passes into the renal tubule where some substances are reabsorbed and the remaining become urine. So, kidney, the main role of the kidney is filtration of blood. So, as blood entered a nephron through the arteriole, impurity are filtered out and emptied into a collecting duct, which include uh, along with the nitrogenous waste. Okay, some of the glucose and some of the important molecule also filtered through the process of filtration. And the purified blood exits the nephron through the venule. And the mechanism of blood purification involves two different processes: filtration and reabsorption. So, during the filtration, passing a liquid or gas through a filter to remove wastage is called filtration, and it is the process where the filtration of blood mainly takes place in the glomerulus. And the glomerulus is a small network of capillaries encased in the top of the nephron by a hollow cup-shaped structure called Bowman capsule, and fluid from the blood flow into Bowman capsule. And the material filtered from the blood include water, urea, glucose, salt, amino acid, and some of the vitamin can filter out during the filtration. And the plasma protein, cells, and platelets remain in the blood because they are too large and cannot filter along with these substance. And the second process is reabsorption. So most of the material removed from during the filtration in the Bowman's capsule makes its way back into the blood. And the process in which a liquid is taken back into a vessel is called reabsorption. Okay, and almost 99% of the water that enters Bowman's capsule is reabsorbed into the blood, and when the filtrate drained in the collecting duct, most of the water nutrients have been reabsorbed into the blood. Okay, so this process is called glomerular filtration. Which you have to see that this is efferent arteriole and this is afferent arteriole. Okay, and this is Bowman's capsule, which has glomerulus network on. And during the reabsorption, remaining material called urine is emptied into a collecting duct, and urine is primarily concentrated in the loop of Henle. And the loop of Henle is a section of nephron tubule in which water is conserved and the volume of urine minimized. So as the kidney works, purified blood is returned to the circulation, while urine is collected in the urinary bladder. Okay, and urine is stored here until it is released from the body through a tube called urethra. So in this way, you have to see that how these all organs are arranged together. So ureter is a tube approximately 6 to 7 inches long, attached to each kidney, and it is made up of three layers of tissue: smooth muscle, fibrous tissue, and mucus layer. And peristalsis, a rhythmic contraction of ureter smooth muscle which help to move the urine into the bladder. Okay, so this is kidney, this is ureter, and this is bladder. Okay, and this is ureter opening. This one is urethra. Okay? And the urinary bladder is a hollow muscular organs that store urine. Okay, and it has sphincter muscles hold the urine in place and hold top 300 to 400 milliliters of urine before emptying. And wall contain epithelial tissue that stays to allow the bladder to hold twice its capacity. Okay, and the tilbone is a triangular area at the base of a bladder where the ureter enter and urethra exit. Okay, so this is urinary bladder which has this one is ureter. Okay, and this is a prostate gland. This is ureter. Okay. So a urethra is a tube of smooth muscle with a mucus lining that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. Okay, and there is certain slight difference between the female urethra and male urethra. And female urethra has a size of approximate 1.5 inches long and open through the meatus. And while the male urethra has approximate size 8 inches long and passes through three different regions, prostate gland, membranous portion, and penis. So in this way, you have to see that how these processes arrange and involved in the urine formation. So first of all, the glomerular filtration is there. Okay, and these organs involved in the glomerular filtration, glomerulus and glomerular capsule, or Moll's capsule, and tubular deabsorption. So this carried in that part. Okay, tubular deabsorption, and this is tubular secretion at the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, and this distal convoluted tubule connect with the collecting duct. Okay, then reabsorption of water in the collecting duct is carried. Okay, and loop of Henle particularly control the concentration of urine. Okay, and amount of urine. So, what control the urinary system? It is most important to understand. It is mostly constant, but may need to increase or decrease. Okay. So, renin endostetic system is there, which control the equity system. Okay, and control the adenome, ADH hormone, and aldosterone. Okay, ADH means anti-diuretic hormone, and aldosterone. And these renin angiotensin system regulates filtration and in which renin is released from juxtaglomerular cells of kidney. Okay, and three different circumstances is there where the renin is released from juxtaglomerular cells of kidney. This include a drop in blood pressure, okay, sympathetic stimuli, and macula densa cells decrease in chloride, potassium, and sodium. Okay. And another system is there, ADH antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so regulate water reabsorption. Okay, so when there is a low water level in the blood, the ADH is released by the pituitary gland. Okay, and it will cause tubes to reabsorb more water and affect urine volume down and very concentrated. Okay, and another system is aldosterone. So aldosterone cause kidney to conserve sodium and excrete potassium. And aldosterone also release also help. to control the sodium and potassium concentration in the urine, and aldosterone released from adrenal gland. Okay, and while there is no blood volume is there, that time aldosterone is released and cause water conservation of the body. So renin angiotensin system, okay, release renin, okay, and this renin reacts with angiotensinogen, and now the renin will form angiotensin first. And angiotensin first combined with an enzyme that released by lungs and in the plasma to form angiotensin second. And this now this angiotensin second maintain water, sodium, okay, in the urine, okay, and maintain the blood pressure. And angiotensin second cause vasoconstriction, okay, which results in the leg filtering, and it cause vasodilation, okay, which affect more filtering. Okay, so it regulates the glomerular filtration process. So this figure shows the how these hormones regulate the kidney or urine formation. You have to see that this is aldosterone. Okay, this aldosterone also control blood pressure. Okay, and it also vasoconstrict the artery wall that results in the increase in blood pressure. Okay, and this aldosterone also induced to release renin by the kidney and juxtamedullary cells of the kidney. And this renin acts on angiotensinogen, and now this angiotensinogen convert into angiotensin first. Okay, and now this act on the angiotensin converting enzyme. Okay, and it convert into the angiotensin second, which stimulate adrenal gland to release more aldosterone. Okay, so this is the way how this angiotensin aldosterone system regulate urine formation. So in the glomerular filtration, the capillaries drop off particles in the blood, and the body need to get rid of. Okay, and it is handled by blood pressure or filtration pressure. Okay, and produce 180 liter of fluid every 24 hours, and particles filters into the glomerulus capsule, mostly water, and composition is very close to tissue fluid of glomerular filtrate, or in the tubular reabsorption that occur mostly in the proximal part of convoluted tubule, which is called proximal convoluted tubule, and it transport items out of the tubular fluid and back into the bloodstream. Okay, as you know, some of the important substance filtered out into the urine, which must be reabsorbed during the process of urine formation. So what the body still needs and what is reabsorbed. Okay, so the glucose, amino acid, water, urea, and uric acid. Okay, so approximately 65% of the filtrate is reabsorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule, and in addition to the reabsorption of sodium and potassium also carried in the proximal convoluted tubule. Then the tubular secretion. It is a layered filtering process, and it transport item out of the blood, okay, and peritubular capillaries into the renal tubule, and processing of potassium, water, and some uric acid, and urea. Okay, and elimination of urine. So finally, urine passes through the collecting duct to the renal papilla, then to the minor and major calyx, and out the renal pelvis to the ureter, and finally to the bladder and to the urethra, and then it expelled out of the body. Okay. So here we have to see that the urine composition reflects the quantities of water and solute that the kidney must eliminate for the body to maintain the homeostasis. Okay, and diet. Okay, so diet is also important part of the composition of urine. Okay, and activity level. Okay, so it also depends on the metabolic activity. Okay, and even urine in the urine, about 95% of the water uh, has in the urine. Okay, and also it has a uric acid, trace amount of amino acid, electrolyte. Okay, so these all in the present in the urine. And now, urinating, so in the process of urinating, it contracts muscles and relax the external urethral sphincter. Okay, while someone do urinating, and distension stimulates stress receptor in the bladder, and impulse are sent to the detrusor muscles from the CNS as bladder fill internal pressure that increase and forces sphincter to open, and a second reflex relax the sphincter unless voluntary control maintain its contraction. Okay. So this is the structure of bladder. Okay, this is bladder muscles. This is urine. This is sphincter muscles. Okay, this is urethra opening. Okay. So now we have to summarize the whole lecture. Okay. So first of all, we have to discuss the glomerulus filters. Okay, water and other substance from the bloodstream, and each kidney is we have to discuss that contain over 1 million of tiny 1 million of tiny structure. Okay, or which is called nephron, and each nephron has a glomerulus and the site of blood filtration, and the glomerulus is a network of capillaries. Okay, that is surrounded by a cape-like structure, which is called glomerular capsule of Brown's capsule. And as a blood flow through the glomerulus capsule or Bowman's capsule, so as blood flow through the glomerulus, the blood pressure pushes uh, water and solute from the capillaries into the capsule through a filtration membrane. Okay, so this process, as we have to discuss here, is called glomerular filtration that begin in the urine formation. Okay, that's why it is very important process. Okay, and another process is the filtration. Okay, so the filtration membrane keeps blood cell and large protein in the blood stream, and inside the glomerulus, blood pressure pushes fluid from capillary into the glomerular capsule. Okay, now the glomerular capsule made up of a specialized layer of cells, and this specialized layer of cells is involved in the filtration process. Okay, and the filtration membrane allow water and small solute to pass, but block blood and uh, even some of the part of the blood. cannot pass and block during the process of filtration. Okay, so it block the blood cells, large protein, because these have a large size, and those components remain in the bloodstream, and the filtrate, the fluid that has passed through the membrane, flows from the glomerular capsule further into the nephron. Okay. Now, in this lecture, we have to discuss the third process, which is called reabsorption, where the which moves nutrient and water back into the bloodstream. Okay. So, in this process, the glomerulus filters water and small solute out of the blood stream, and the resulting filtrate contain wastage, but also contain other substances that body need, and it include essential ions, glucose, amino acid, smaller proteins. When these filtrate exit the glomerulus, it flow into a duct in the nephron, which is called a proximal convoluted tubule or renal tubule. So as it moves, the needed substance and some water are reabsorbed through the tube wall into the adjacent capillary, and this reabsorption of vital nutrients from the filtrate is the second steps in the urine formation. And finally, the waste ion and hydrogen ion secreted from the blood complete the formation of urine. So, during this process, the filtrate absorbed in the glomerulus flows through the renal tubule, where nutrient and water are reabsorbed into the capillary. So at the same time, the waste ion and hydrogen ion passes from the capillaries into the renal tubule, and this process is called secretion. Okay, and then the secreted ion combined with the remaining filtrate and become urine, and the urine flows out of the nephron tubule into a collecting duct, and it passes out of the kidney through the renal pelvis into the ureter and down to the bladder. Okay. So as we have to discuss here, the urine has 95% of water. So the nephron of kidney process blood and create urine through a process of filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. So urine is about 95% water and 5% waste product. So nitrogenous waste excreted in urine include urea, creatinine, ammonia, uric acid, ions like sodium, potassium, hydrogen, and calcium. Okay, so these ions also has to be excreted. Okay, so thank you everyone. This is differences. Now you have to attempt a quiz. So the first question is the metabolic waste urea is produced from. Okay, so it produced from the protein metabolism or during the catabolism of protein or amino acid. Okay, so the organism that exceed nitrogen mainly in the form of ammonia is called. Okay, so these organisms are called ammonotelic. And the capsule receives a small arteriole, a pent arteriole, which branches into the tuft of capillary loop about 15 in number. Okay, so this part of nephron is called. Okay, so this is called glomerulus. Okay, so what is the reabsorb through a loop of Henle? Okay, so during the loop of Henle, the water is reabsorbed. So why do we urinate more in wet and cold month? So because sweating is much reduced. Okay. Which of the following hormone is involved in the regulating the water salt balance of the blood? Okay. So this is aldosterone. Which of the following hormone promote the excretion of potassium ion and the reabsorption of sodium ion? Okay. So this is adeno anti-diabetic hormone. And which of the following leads to the secretion of aldosterone from the adrenal cortex? Okay, so this one is renin. And which of the following structure facilitate easy passage of small molecule to the glomerular capsule? Okay, so this one is glomerulus. Okay, because membrane of glomerulus made up of epithelial cells. Which of the two waste products are removed from the blood in liver by ornithine cycle? Okay, which is the part of the nitrogenous waste. These are the ammonia and carbon dioxide. Okay? Urea and carbon dioxide. Okay? Is the correct answer. Okay, urea and carbon dioxide. So thank you everyone